I trained back for 3 or 4 hours. What's your opinion on this and overtraining generally? Like, I don't know, man, you want to kill yourself or something? You train for 3 or 4 hours? What you really mean is you were in the gym for 3 or 4 hours. You didn't train for 3 or 4 hours, man. Try and come and train back with me for 3 or 4 hours. You'll be puking after 30 minutes. So you weren't training hard enough, so you won't get any results. You're just going to wear yourself down and get nowhere. So I think you need to rethink your approach. There's an interesting one from Alexandra Vika. Would you still swear to the leg press versus the squat for leg size in general? So when I started bodybuilding, every book I read, every magazine said that you can't get good legs without squatting. And Tom Platz was like a hero of mine, and Tom Platz was also a huge advocate of squatting. So I was doing the squats in the gym, everyone was doing squats, but I got an injury on my right hip from squatting. I even had the special weightlifting shoes and all that stuff like Tom Platz, because he was my hero, doing heavy squats. I got very good development pretty quick if you look at my first contest. But anyway, I'm digressing. You're asking me about squats. So squats are a good leg exercise or great, depending on your structure. If you can squat like Tom Platz, where because he's quite short and his upper body is not very long, so when he squats, the majority of the stress, the majority of the lift he's doing with his quads. Whereas somebody like myself, it's taller, I'll be leaning forward more, so I'll be using more glutes, more lower back, and I had an injury, so I was kind of forced by the injury to try and do other things. So I started squatting on a Smith machine. Sometimes squatting on a Smith machine, sometimes leg press, and always pre-exhausted by leg extensions first, and followed by usually hack squats. So I stopped squatting in, I think, around 88, 89, after I won my British Championship and got my pro card. And I was forced really to do it. And then doing the other exercises, I got better leg development because I felt like I could really isolate. With a Smith machine squat and a hack squat, I could really isolate, and leg press I could go heavy without any risk to my lower back. So those exercises, I got better results, and generally I don't do free weight squats with them unless there's a reason to. You know, the lesson is listen to your body. If you're doing squats and it's working great for you, then, well, you know, continue. If they're not, then try something else. Do you have any long-term injury like Ronnie Coleman? Well, you know, fortunately, I don't have any spinal injuries, which is Ronnie's problem. Perhaps because I didn't do those heavy squats. I stopped squatting quite early, so I was training legs without doing the heavy squats. And you know, Ronnie was doing like powerlifting, strength moves, getting ready for Mr. Olympia. I really think that was not wise at all, and there was no point to do it. So yes, I have some injuries. I have a torn rotator cuff on the left shoulder. Of course, I tore my bicep and my tricep, which makes them weaker. And because the left shoulder is missing supraspinatus, the right shoulder does too much work. So that's why I'm not training heavy now, because I've done what I need to do in bodybuilding. I don't want to be, you know, when I get older, that I cannot, you know, throw a ball or something like this. So, you know, I like to be active. I love to go hiking in the mountains. I like swimming. I like riding my bike. I like doing all those things. So for me, it would be a nightmare if I had, like, you know, some spinal problem or something. So I'm really grateful that I don't. I have some shoulder injuries, and it's very difficult for me to train upper body with any kind of weights. I mean, I literally cannot bench press even 60 kilos. I can't bench press that because the shoulder's too weak. So I do what I can do, and now, you know, it doesn't bother me really, because having huge upper body muscles is not really important for me now. It's important for me to be cardiovascular fit.
Super dangerous, isn't it? When you see those guys with those enormous bloated bellies.
Yeah, there's a huge debate, and like, what is that? You know,
what is it?
I don't know.
Is it internal organs that are
well,
growing?
Here's the thing. Initially, that's what people thought, right? And my waist started to get a little bloated around 96, 97, maybe 97, when I was using insulin, right? It got a little bloated, a little distended. But when I retired, it went down because I was always like, oh, I'm taking steroids for this sport because I'm a professional. When I'm not competing, I'm not going to take them. So stop taking them. And also I took growth hormone, and that was the thing. A lot of people think growth hormone is going to increase the size of your internal organs, and that's why guys are getting bloated waistline. So I went and had a battery of tests where they actually measure all your internal organs, and mine were all totally normal, apart from my heart was a bit bigger and stronger, but that's just normal athletic heart. So that wasn't the case. So perhaps it's fat that's building up around the internal organs, or maybe it's just a lot of water in the intestines and it just bloats the waste out.
Oh,
the short
Jesus.
answer is I don't really know.
Who's that guy in the far left?
I don't know.
That's like a turtle shell. Doesn't that look like a turtle shell?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So that could be insulin. That could be a variety of different things.
We only seen this kind of thing happening since the guys are using insulin and IGF, which is insulin-like growth factor.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not a good look. It's not
It's weird. The turtle shell look is so weird. It literally looks like someone.
It's like the guys have got big, but everywhere, systemic, growth. When you train with weights, your major muscles are going to grow, but not around the waist. Can thicken a little bit, but not that.